It's been over 10 years since a giant sinkhole opened up inside the National Corvette Museum and swallowed 8 historic cars. Some of them have been restored, one though they decided to leave as is, and it's on special display, albeit as a pancake, at the museum. The C8 Eray now is available in Europe, and we are now well into our latest giveaway of the channel, which ends July 4th with over $2,000 worth of prizes to win, multiple ways to win that I'll tell you about. I'm going to announce another prize that can be won today, so we're going to talk all about that in today's video. So thanks for tuning in, guys, where we talk Corvette news, do product review videos, how to install videos, and the occasional car drive and car show all around Corvette. My name is Carlos, and if you like what you hear and you want to know when all these kind of videos drop, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join in on the community, and yeah, just join in on the fun. Also, I am trying out a new mic, so let me know if this is sounding a little bit better than the previous news videos if you've been watching over the last few weeks. So still kind of just playing around to make this a little bit more of a pleasant experience. Alrighty, anyway, so the first set of news I came across this week is coming from the National Corvette Museum and their featured Spotlight Corvette, which is their 1984 PPG Pace Car Corvette, or rather what's left of what looks like more like a flattened tortilla than an actual car. And that's because this car was kept in its original condition, and when I mean original condition, even after the events of where this car, along with 7 other Corvettes, were swallowed by a giant sinkhole directly inside the NCM building. This happened back on February 14, 2014, so over 10 years ago. It was a crazy scene with all these Corvette masterpieces, including the Blue Devil Corvette, a 1962 Tuxedo Black Corvette, a 1993 40th anniversary, and then the 1 millionth Corvette, along with the PPG Pace Car currently on display inside a sinkhole that, measured 40 feet wide, 60 feet long, and 30 feet deep. I mean, this was a big freaking hole. Thankfully, when the sinkhole happened, no one was inside the building, so no one got hurt because it was in the middle of the night. And I mean, you can see the video of the sinkhole when it was happening, and you see how initially the floor kind of started just dipping, and then parts of the floor just started falling into this abyss of blackness before you see whole Corvettes experiencing the same dreaded fate. Now, with this huge hole, it took them over 2 months to recover all the different Corvettes that were in this giant sinkhole, of which the museum had to make the hard decisions of whether or not some of these cars could and should be restored, and what unfortunately just couldn't be salvaged and just needed to be, thrown out. But surprisingly, there was a third option, and it was, well, why don't we just keep it as is? And that's exactly what the 1984 PPG Pace Car Corvette came to be, because why not? That sinkhole is part of the museum's own personal history, and the Pace Car is a reflection of that. I'll bet pancake and all. And this pace car was not just some random Corvette, but had quite a bit of history behind, even comparable to the sort of the likes of the recent ZR1 we saw as the pace car at the Indy 500. It was a unique one-off build Corvette that was built as the official pace car for the Kart IndyCar World Series. Built as a conjunction between Chevy and PPG, it had a 450 horsepower K-Tech built V8 engine, a Borg-Warner 5-speed transmission, and coil-over suspension on all 4 corners. Every detail was engineered for performance, including a custom exhaust system that made sure you heard it before you even saw it. All for a car that was made in 1984, which is pretty freaking impressive. So while it's sad that the tragedy of the sinkhole left this museum piece in its current condition, it sits as part of the history of the car and is the feature spotlight car at the NCM as part of their rotating cars that they feature from time to time. It's funny, as the years pass for me personally, I start to grow more and more appreciation for the performance cars built over decades ago and what they accomplished. It's actually why I started making videos going over like the history of certain sports cars, and it's part of the series of videos that I called The History of Speed. It's a fun series that just I bring an engineering perspective on our favorite sports cars and how they came to be. So if you want to check out some of those videos, I'll link them so you can check them out. It's a good listen to and just enjoying one car guy talking about, different kinds of, sports cars. Anyways, so it's an awesome piece of Corvette history, both in the good and bad, and you can actually see it in person at the National Corvette Museum. Okay, so next piece of Corvette news, we now see the C8 Corvette Eray now being available for purchase over in Europe. So before this, if you were across the pond, you could only order a C8 Stingray or C8 Z06. But with this new development, the Eray is now something available alongside those variants as well. And they can be ordered at certain high-performance Chevy dealers in Europe and can expect a delivery sometime this summer. Now, the Eray in particular, with its all-wheel drive high performance, I think is going to make some great appearances in Europe, especially as a grand touring type car that can push through some of the awesome landscapes and curvy roads that you do see over there. And I'm totally looking forward to seeing it, hanging out over there in different kind of capacities as a car representing the Corvette brand. And European customers will be able to order in both the coupe and convertible option, along with having all the available color options, just all the different options that you would see here in the States. The only big difference that is going to be between the E-Rays that we see here in the US and what you see in Europe is going to actually be the price difference. And there's a heck of a price difference. So currently, if you were to order an E-Ray, the base price of the coupe starts at around $109,000, and then the HTC version starts at $116,000 here in the US. The European version goes for a lot more, with a starting point price of, get this, $193,000 for the coupe version, and then for the HTC version, over $200,000 as a starting price, specifically $202,000. That's an average of about $85,000 more in price. And that's just the MSRP type price. That's not taking into consideration any kind of markups, especially at the beginning when there are not that many E-Rays over there to begin with. Honestly, while it's good that the E-Ray is now available in Europe, I don't think that that kind of additional bump in price is going to really help in regards to sales, unless a person is a real diehard fan of the Corvette, or they just want the exclusivity for the time being. I mean, I know with certain shipping costs and such, it's understandable that kind of markup, but man, that is pretty pricey. But what do you guys think? If you were in Europe and this was the first opportunity you could get an E-Ray, would you pull the trigger on this kind of price point? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. Okay, so the last bit of news is channel news, and it's the next set of giveaways for the channel, which is well underway. We are in the last month of this giveaway, and it's over $2,000 worth of prizes that we're going to be giving away this time. All from sponsors of the channel, including Solar Performance and an 87mm throttle body kit for the C8 Z06, so that's worth $700. A Diamond Protech protective coating kit, which is next gen beyond ceramic coating tech to protect your ride. Any surface kit of your choice, which goes for about $100, and then a Speedway Composites carbon fiber X brace for your C8 Corvette, which goes for another $600, and then a special wind deflector that is also coming from Speedway Composites that goes for $400 as well. We also added last week an anti-glare protective film that comes from Screen Protect that you can put on your C8 Corvette for the nav screen and center screen that goes for about $60 as well. It's another item that is now going to be part of this giveaway. And on top of that, I am going to be throwing in another giveaway item, this last item that we're going to be adding to this set of giveaway pieces, and it comes from our longtime sponsor, Extreme Online Store, and it is their carbon fiber side skirts that you can get for the C8 Z06 or E-Ray as full replacements of the carbon flash versions that you would usually see. We actually did a recent review about them when I installed a pair on my C8 Z06, and they are freaking awesome. I really love them. They retail for about $500 from EOS, so all of these different items you can win in this giveaway, which goes all the way to July 4th. And to enter, it's super easy. The first way is just typing in the comments NuHorizon. That gets you one free entry into the giveaway. It's one per username, one per person for that initial entry. Again, if you've already submitted for the free entry in earlier videos, you're already locked in. You don't have to comment again unless you want to. I know a few of you like to just joke around and do that. You can, it's just not going to count for more. But if you're wanting more entries and more chances to win though, because there are a lot of prizes and win. I mean, literally at this point, there are 6 different pieces, different chances that you can win. And I'm making it that every $5 spent through either a special thanks donation or purchase of NuHorizon merch like my shirt or my hat, each $5 spent gets you an extra entry into the giveaway. We already have a couple of you who have done already that, and you can see it in the updated spinner wheel here that is showing you who's in this running. So it could be that spending an extra $10, maybe $15 can win you a prize that's worth $700, like the throttle body. It all helps not only support the channel growing, but also future giveaways like this as well. And I mean, currently there's still just over 50 official entries so far, so the odds are pretty darn good right now, with about a month left before the end of the giveaway to win a really cool prize. So good luck to everyone who has entered. If you're not subscribed already, definitely invite you to subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.